Happy New Year. We are back. We are back. Welcome to another edition of 100 Yards and Running. I am your host, Reggie. And to my YouTube subscribers, we are back on YouTube. So don't forget to check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Family Meeting Podcast on YouTube. Let's get going. Wild card weekend was a crazy, crazy weekend. We had some great games, and the divisional rounds is set for next week, for this weekend coming up. But before we get there, let's go back to what happened wild card weekend. Starting wild card Saturday, we had the Rams. We had Matthew Stafford. We had Sean McVay. We had Devontae Adams and the LA Rams against a surprising team that surprised me during this season. I'm talking about Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. And this game did not disappoint, ladies and gentlemen. It was back and forth. Both defenses were on point. This was a defensive game. It could have went either way. The second half, the Panthers were coming back. The Rams kept the lead most of this game, but the Panthers put up a fight, y'all, but it was just short with the last second field goal and a last second defensive play stopped by the Rams, ladies and gentlemen, and the Rams defeating the Panthers by a score of 34-31. The Rams are moving on to the divisional round. Ladies and gentlemen, these playoffs is getting interesting. We also had another game, wild card Saturday. We had Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers going against Caleb Williams and those Chicago Bears. Ladies and gentlemen, this game right here did not disappoint because it was also back and forth. Caleb Williams showing that he deserves to be in the National Football League, and his time is right now. Green Bay making moves on the defensive end, adding Trayvon Diggs to the mix. And now the Bears and the Packers battling it out in Chicago. The Bears defense stepped up, and this was a defensive weekend, ladies and gentlemen, because just like the Rams, the Bears defense was on point, and they stopped the Packers' last second run, defeating the Green Bay Packers by a score of 31-27. Now the Bears are moving on to the divisional round. Now, before I get to Wild Card Sunday, we have some breaking news in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. Starting with Mike Tomlin. After many years spent in Pittsburgh, he is officially stepped down as the Steelers head coach. What does this mean for Pittsburgh? We don't know. Also, happening today, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. After spending numerous seasons in Baltimore, John Harbaugh leaves Baltimore and is finalizing a 4-year deal to become the New York Giants' next head coach, ladies and gentlemen. Giants fans, how do you feel about John Harbaugh coming to New York after departing Baltimore? Do you think John is going to be successful in New York just like he tried to do in Baltimore? Or is New York making another mistake? Here's my opinion. John Harbaugh had a hell of a season in Baltimore, bringing them to 2 championships and carrying the Ravens. The Ravens had one of the best defenses in the AFC. And now John Harbaugh bringing his talents to New York with a young quarterback like Jackson Dart and with Malik Neighbors coming back. It is sky's the limit for the Giants. Cam Scatterbo coming back. So now I think this move is a huge move for Giants fans because you have a coach on the offensive and defensive end that knows what he's doing. And I'm happy for John Harbaugh, and I'm happy for the Giants. Let's see what John is going to do in New York. So now moving on to Wild Card Sunday. We had three games Wild Card Sunday, starting with the Bills going to Duval to take on Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this game could have been either way. Jacksonville was leading most of this game, and Buffalo coming back in the second half. And Josh Allen, I said all season long, here is where Josh Allen needs to show his what he is made of. Patrick Mahomes is not in your way anymore. Lamar Jackson is not in your way anymore. You have a wide open lane to make it to the AFC Championship game. But before you get there, you have to go through these Jaguars. And Jacksonville had one hell of a season. Jacksonville fans, you should hold your head up high. They had their best record in a while going into these playoffs. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, Josh Allen is another animal. And the Buffalo Bills is a team that is dangerous in these playoffs that you do not want to see. Josh Allen in this game, rushing for a touchdown late, putting Buffalo in a lead, and they held on to it, defeating Jacksonville at the last second of the game by a score of 27-24. Buffalo advances to the divisional round against who? Now we're going to get to that in a minute. Now this game right here was a shocker to me. We had the defending world champion Philadelphia Eagles going against Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the Eagles were playing at home. We know what was going on, the history in Philadelphia. We see A.J. Brown wasn't happy on the sideline. Him and Nick Sirianni arguing back and forth on the sideline. Now, we saw that in numerous places, and it didn't work out for that team. The Eagles started off red hot in this game where they should have started. Saquon running the ball, rushing for a touchdown. The Eagles had the lead most of this game until the second half. Brock Purdy and those 49ers came storming back. Now, unfortunately, in this game for the San Francisco 49ers, late in the second quarter, losing their star wideout tight end George Kittle. He goes down with the ACL tear. He's out for the season. So the 49ers had a lot of weight on their back and praying for their fallen brother. And that thing, my boy says, go Pats, which I will get on the Patriots later after this game here. Philly going down the way that they did, and San Francisco's defense led by a vet in the game and Lance Kendricks, stopping Justin Hurts at the last second while the 49ers rushed down the lead and rushed down the field and scored a touchdown. Jalen Hurts and those Eagles could not get the ball down the field. San Francisco's defense were all over Jalen Hurts. After he tried to get the Eagles back into it, 49ers defense was not having it, and the 49ers shocked the Eagles, shell-shocked the Eagles, defeating the Eagles by a score of 23-19. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have, once again, new world champions in the National Football League, with the Eagles being eliminated from playoff contention. 49ers advance to the divisional round. Eagles, fly Eagles, bye-bye. Moving on. Chargers, Patriots. Now, the Patriots have not won a playoff game since Tom Brady. Mike Vrabel comes in as their head coach. Now you have Drake May and you got Stephon Diggs. Now I am impressed with the Patriots defense and I'm impressed with Drake May. You play host to Justin Herbert and the Chargers, and you were at home. Now, can the Patriots pull it off and win a divisional round at home? A lot was on the line. Loser goes home. Winner advance. Patriots all over the Chargers in this game. The Chargers could not score a touchdown, but you did put up a field goal. That was not going to be enough for this type of Patriots team, led by Drake May and those running backs that they have. They got Gonzalez on the defensive end, and now you have Diggs. Drake May has a weapon in Stephon Diggs, but he also has other weapons on the offensive end, like Bourne. Now, with that being said, defense wins championships, ladies and gentlemen, and the Patriots defense is real scary. And the Patriots shell shocked the Chargers by beating the Chargers 16-3. For the first time since the Tom Brady era, the Patriots win a playoff game at home and they advance to the divisional round. Monday night, scary night. We had a rivalry game. We had CJ Stroud, my boy from Detroit, my brother Chaos. What's going on? We had CJ Stroud and those Houston Texans, that scary Texans defense, going to Pittsburgh, led by Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin. Now you heard the breaking news at the beginning of the show, where I'm going to get into that. But before I get into Mike Tomlin, let's get into his Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers started off red hot. You got DK Metcalf back. But the problem with the Steelers is they can't put as many points on the board as they were supposed to. And putting up the points that y'all did, led by 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers, was not going to cut it. Texans started off slow, but they picked up the slack, led by that coach, DeMeco Ryans, and that Texans defense. And the Texans, to me, has the number one defense in the National Football League. Let's call a spade a spade. The Texans defense, they got it on front and back. That is a team that you do not want to see in the playoffs. And I'm interested to find out what's going to happen in the divisional round of these playoffs. But let's get back into Pittsburgh and Houston in this game where the Texans slaughtered Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, Steelers fans. It is what it is. And the Texans slaughtered the Steelers 30-6. Pittsburgh couldn't score a touchdown. You had a couple of nice plays, but not scoring a touchdown against this Texans defense, led by DeMeco Ryans, led by that dangerous Texas defense, and CJ Stroud having the confidence and himself and his football team. We're seeing a quarterback in Houston develop. Now, I like CJ Stroud since he was in college, and I said last year that the kid had a lot of potential to prove a lot of quarterbacks in this league wrong, and now we are seeing that in Houston. They got a good coach, they got a good defensive coordinator, and they got a good team offensively and defensively. The problem with Houston is injuries. Now, Nico Collins, if he can stay healthy, let's see what the Texans can do in the divisional round. But they defeated the Steelers by a score of 30-6. So the question in Pittsburgh is this: if you're Aaron Rodgers, what do you do? Knowing that Mike Tomlin stepped down, and now you had not one, not two, but three unsuccessful seasons and not make it to the Super Bowl. You tried it in New York. You got hurt the first year. and the Jets stunk the second year, and now you go on to Pittsburgh, and you go to the divisional round by the skin of your teeth, and you play a good Texans defense. Now everybody was telling me, "Oh, Reg, nah, Steelers got it. We got Aaron, we got Big Aaron Rodgers, and we're playing at home." And I asked all of my peoples, including my family here, and I asked them, "Who you got? Texans, Steelers?" And I said, "Be careful because the Texans are going to shock a lot of people in the playoffs." Everybody was like, "Nah, Red Steelers got it. Steelers got it." And I told them, "Are you sure?" Because Houston is a problem in these playoffs. And we seen that Monday night. So now the divisional rounds is set. This week, Saturday coming up, we got Bills, Broncos in Denver. We got Bo Nix and we got Josh Allen. Who do y'all got going to the AFC Championship game? I'm giving y'all my picks right now. I got Buffalo shocking Denver by a field goal. Josh Allen is still going to be the monster that he is, leading his team to another AFC Championship game. And like I said, if Buffalo has a chance to do something and make it to a Super Bowl, this is your chance. No Mahomes, no Burrow, no Jackson. In your way, Josh Allen. You have a wide open lane, but be careful, Buffalo, because you got some teams that is right there in the mix. So my pick for divisional round Saturday, first game, Bills, Broncos. I am going with the Bills by a field goal. Next game, and this is a shocker because you got two teams trying to identify who they are and moving into the divisional round. Now, Seattle, I said since he was in Minnesota last year with the Vikings, Sam Darnold has a point to prove, and the Jets made a mistake by letting him go. Because look what he did in Minnesota, giving them their best record last year, and he does it again in Seattle with a 14-3 record, playing a team like the 49ers at home, divisional game. My pick in this game, I got the Seahawks by a field goal at home. Most of these games are going to be close. I think Sam Darnold get the best of a crushed down but yet hurt 49ers defense. I think the Cinderella for San Francisco ends this weekend, and I think Seattle moves on for the first time since Russell Wilson and the Legion of Boom. Seattle goes back to the NFC Championship game. Sunday night, well, Sunday afternoon, we got two more divisional games. We got the Texans and we got the Patriots in Foxborough. Now, this game is going to be interesting because you got two teams that play alike. You got two defenses that are practically the same. This is going to be a nail biter. But if I had to pick who goes against Buffalo in the AFC Championship game, sorry, Houston, your Cinderella story ends with D'Amico Ryan, with Nico Collins getting hurt last week. CJ Stroud trying to look for a new number one weapon with that Patriots defense. I got the Patriots winning, staying red hot at Foxborough. So I got the Bills and the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. Now, I said the Seahawks in the first game, and who's going to meet them in the NFC Championship game? We're going to see While on the divisional round Sunday, we got the Rams against Caleb Williams and the Bears in Chicago. My pick for this game is I gotta go with the Rams because Matthew Stafford has had one hell of a season. This I think he's runner up with Josh Allen for the MVP this year, putting Devontae Adams with him and Precious Nakua on that team. I think there'll be too much for Caleb Williams and the Bears to handle at home. Now the Bears, you made it this far, and you should not give up hope with your football team. But I still think that the Rams is too much to handle for the Bears at home, and I got the Rams and the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. So you got my picks right there. You know who I'm going with. Divisional round Saturday. I'm going to say it again. I got the Bills and the Patriots in the AFC Championship game this year. And in the NFC, I'm going with the Seahawks and the Rams. Will I be right or will I be wrong? Well, you hear I told you so because it's like it's being set right in front of our eyes, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, Buffalo has a chance to do something right here and something special. But the team to me that is standing in their way is another Cinderella team, and I think it's the New England Patriots because getting Mike Vrabel to believe in that football team and getting the guys that they got, bringing in a receiver in Stephon Diggs, and building around Drake May, the Patriots got all the tools this year to make the Super Bowl. Can they do it? We shall see. To me, I think Josh Allen should be a little bit too much for the Patriots. So let's see. Can Josh Allen lead his team to a Super Bowl for the first time in his career without no Mahomes, no Burrow, no Brady? Folks, that was Wild Card Weekend right there. Tune in next week as we cover these divisional rounds. Like I said, I gave y'all my picks. I want to know what y'all think. Tune in next week for divisional weekend as these playoffs continue. I already gave y'all my picks: AFC Championship, NFC Championship. Will I be right? To be determined. Stay blessed. Stay safe. I'm your boy Reg. Tune in next week. Peace and love. Welcome back to my YouTubers. Come back. Thank you for joining us. I'll see y'all next week. Same time, same channel. Peace and love. We out of here, baby. I'll see y'all next